Welcome back, everyone. Finally, we're about to deploy our application. We just had to do a couple of touch-ups in the page and in our action, and then we will be ready to deploy our application on Vercel, which will be super straightforward and free. So make sure your terminal is working, is up and running, and we can see the page loaded up in here, and we're back into the sentiment page, where right now we have a red squiggly line here that we just need to take care of, and then we should be able to finish up the backend. So let's get started in here, back in line 28. Right now, this right now is just saying that we have a TypeScript error, and it's just one of the rules of TypeScript that we cannot specify any type in here, but we're just going to ignore this for just this line. So we can click on, hover over this, click on quick fix, and let's just ignore that or disable that check for this specific line only. Right, that's no big deal. So we're just going to ignore that for now. So that way we don't have any errors in here. And then also we want to, let's open up our console in here, and let's make sure there's no errors being logged to the console here. So we're at the home page, give it a quick refresh. So I don't see any errors there. Let's go to the advisor. Now we got all the different services here. Let's go to the stock prediction here that we completed before, and let's click on that. A little slow, still compiling. There we go, nothing there. And let's go back to advisor. Let's go to sentiment, and there's no errors here. Nope, everything is all good here. Let's also go ahead and check on the prediction page. There's nothing in here. Start all the way at the top. We have in the prediction, we have everything all good. No red squiggly lines or any errors. Let's go back to the sentiment, and we don't have anything else at the top there either. So we should be okay here as well. Cool. All right, so we can go now, close this up, and go back to the get prediction just to check here. That's fine, I don't see anything on the top. And the get sentiment, which is the service we're working on. So here, before we deploy, I want to do a couple of things. Let's first review what we're doing in here. So when this get sentiment action, server action is called, we are going to right away try to get a Reddit authentication token, which at the moment, every time we submit something, it will get a brand new one. And we don't need to get a brand new one. These tokens expire in 24 hours, so we can use the same token all the way until it's expired. So in order to do that, let's cache the token that gets created the first time, and then if it's expired, we will get a new one only if it's expired. So in here, let's go and create a let variable here, and we're going to call it cache access token, and we're going to say that this could be of type string because the token is a string, or it could be of null value. And let's initialize it to null right away. Now let's go and also create a variable so we can keep the time that we got left to use the token. So we're gonna call this one token expiry time. And this is going to be set to 0. And that's what we're gonna need for now. So now let's go into the try in here, and let's create a now variable. So we're going to say const now, and we're going to set that equals to date that now, which gives us back the current time in milliseconds. And then we're gonna do a if statement right before we kind of like try to get a new token. We're gonna check first if cache token, cache access token, if that's true, and now is less than the token expiry time, then we're going to use the cache token that we have. So we're going to do a quick console log. We're going to say returning cache token. And then what we're going to do here, we're going to, we do have the access token that we're setting up in here when we get the new token. So instead of initializing this cache access token here, I'm going to delete the const keyword, and I'm going to define the let the access token variable in here, and we're going to set that to is going to be of type string or null, and we can just leave it like that at the beginning. And then in here, so if the cache token is true and the expiring time is less than now, so that means we still can use this cache token that we have, we're going to set the access underscore token. We're going to set it to the cache token that we have, or the cache access token. If this is false, if one of these is false, is this is null, or the expiring time is not less than now, so that means the time run out, we're going to put an else statement here, and we're going to wrap everything we do here inside of the else statement. So I'm going to delete this curly bracket here, and I'm going to place it all the way at the end down here. Not there, a little bit lower actually, because we're still getting the data, we still get the access token. So here we said the new, if this is false, right, we fetch the new token, and we set the token data to the access token, and then that should be it. So we put the closing curly bracket here. Right, so that should be fine. Let's see, we have the await keyword here. What is going on here? Cannot find access token. Let me see. Did I put the wrong? Oh yeah, it's not underscore access token. It's just the camel case one. And here as well. Access token, there we go. All right, so access token, if it's true, we use the same one that we have already there. Else, we're gonna go and fetch a new one, and then we're going to set the access token variable to the new access token we got. So that way, if we still have a valid one, we don't fetch a new one until that one runs out of time. And then we're going to make our fetch request here, or our request to get the information about the ticker. So before we were getting a 403 error that was blocking our requests because we were not authenticating completely. We were sending the access token here, but for the Reddit API, we need to also provide a user agent header in here in order to let the application know who we are. So let me show you where that is. So let me bring over this page and one more page right over here. Cool. So in here, we can see that for the API rules, we need to provide a header, and we need to send in the user agent header. We need to send our platform, an app ID, the version, and who we are. So we're going to set this inside of our code. So let me just put this to the side here. And then we're gonna go and set that up down here. So right after the authorization with the token, we're going to set the user dash agent, and then it's going to be set to, let's set it to backticks. Let's do web for the platform. Let's pass our, for the app ID, we're gonna pass process.env dot, and then what is the name of our environment variable here? Reddit web app. And we're gonna pass it here. So that way we pass the web app ID, and then we're gonna do colon. Let's do our version. So we're just gonna do v0.1. Let's say this is our first version anyways, and then who we are in Reddit in the API. Let me show you the API again. That's not what I'm looking for. Where did I send this? Oh, I'll put it up here. So in here, if you go back to your API, you see your name here. So make sure you spell it the same way, so that way they know who you are. And we're gonna type that in here. So we're gonna type by, and then in lowercase, by, and then dash u dash, and then your username, like so. So that way we send this information, so letting them know who we are, and we're gonna hit save in there. Now that we have done that, we shouldn't be getting blocked anymore because we send in everything that we need in here. What's going on here? Token is never assigned, so use with constant. Okay, so we just have to finish that up in there. So let's see what do we need to do. So right now we still have to do something with these two variables, because right now we're just setting in the else statement. In here, when we get the new access token, we assign the access token to the new token. But now we need to calculate the expiring time and assign the cache token as well. So down here, we're gonna go hit enter, and we're going to set the cache token to the same token, data dot access token, access underscore token, and then the expiring time, we're gonna say expiring time. Let's do token access token expiry time, and we're gonna set that equals to. We can get the expiring time from the token by saying token data dot expires underscore in, and then we're gonna multiply that by 1000, which is a second. Cool. So now we have taken care of all of the variables here. We have set up what we need to send to the user, to the Reddit API, and now we should be ready to deploy the application. So there's a chance that if we try it locally still, we might be blocked. So I'm gonna go ahead and try one more time to visit here. And a good, let's see, if you want, we could create a brand new set of credentials just to make sure this is gonna work. So we can create a brand new one. You can call this whatever you want, and then keep it on web app, and then keep it at localhost 3000, and that's just the root. And we're gonna click here. We're gonna create it. We're gonna get this brand new web app ID that we can copy. Bring it over to your .env variable. I'm gonna bring it over to the example. You're gonna paste that there, just like we did before, but we getting some new ones just to make sure that this doesn't get blocked again. And we're not gonna make a request until we deploy, so that way everything is all set and ready to go. So you should have your OpenAI key here, your Polygon API key as well. And we're gonna copy those into Vercel when we deploy the application. So I'm gonna delete this anyways later on. This application here, you should never share your secret key with anyone. But for this video, I'll just delete this later. And then we're going to deploy the application because now we all set and ready to go. Now, when we deploy, we might face a couple of errors where we have to go back, fix them, and try to redeploy the application. That's completely fine. And you should get used to that. So we're gonna stop the terminal here. And you need to make sure you have a GitHub repo attached to your project. So if you don't have one, you can do a git init. And then you can do a git add dot to add everything. And then you will do a git commit. And you will say something like, I don't know, ready to deploy. Oh, git commit -m. And you will press enter right there. And then you're going to create a brand new repository for this application. So I'm gonna go ahead and create one now on GitHub. So let me bring this over. So you're gonna go to your GitHub account and you're going to create a new repository for this app. If you don't have one yet, you're gonna give it a name, keep it public, and don't pick anything else in here. You can leave all of this empty and create a brand new repo. Once you create the repo, I'm just gonna create a test repo in here. And we're going to just leave everything like this, hit create. Once you create the repo, you're going to copy these 3 commands. You can just press here and you're going to paste that into your terminal here and hit enter. And the code should be pushed into your new GitHub repo that you created. So you will refresh this page and you should be able to see your code that was pushed to GitHub in here. Now, once your code is ready up here, you're gonna go into Vercel. So I'm gonna go here, vercel.com. And if you don't have an account here, you're going to create a new account. You're gonna click start deploying. And you're going to continue with GitHub. So that will create an account with GitHub. And when you click there, it's gonna ask you to authenticate. So you're gonna put your GitHub username and password and sign into your account. And I'm going to sign into my account now and show you how that looks like. So once you sign up to Vercel, you're going to, on the top right-hand corner, there might be a button that says create new, and then you can click there and create a new repo or a new project. Or if it's a brand new account, you might be taken in here sooner than that, because after you have an account, you normally get taken to the dashboard, and then you have to click on create new project. But once you're there, you're going to see this screen here where you're going to be logged into your GitHub account, and you're going to search for the project you want to deploy. So once we're here, we can search for the project that you want to deploy. If it's a recent one, you can see the test repo is already here 2 minutes ago, and I can pick that one and deploy. When I'm going to pick this one here, the AI stocks market chatbot, which is where I've been pushing the code. So already have everything created from before because I was pushing the code so everyone can get it. So that's why I didn't just create everything live. But now that we are here, I can pick the right repo, click import, and then you can keep the project name in there. Here we can keep Next.js, root directory should be fine. Build options, that should be fine. We don't need to edit anything there. What we do need to edit is our environment variables, and we need to bring in everything that we have inside of the .env file. So go to your .env, and we're going to copy the keys and the value. So you can start with your Polygon API key, then your OpenAI key. I'm going to start here, and I'm going to put the key and get the value in here. Hit add more, then continue down with this one, Control C, put it here, and then go here, paste it here, and then the redirect, we can, let's see, we can copy that as well, and then we are going to let's just keep this one for now, but when we deploy, we're just going to change it from localhost to the actual URL that we're going to get from Vercel. So we're going to paste it here for now, and make sure you add your OpenAI key and your Polygon API key, which I'm going to do next. All right, so I have my Polygon API key and my OpenAI key here. Just make sure that the same spelling that we have here is actually here, because I have this spelling here, but I noticed in my original .env file I coded it this way. So just make sure whatever you have here is the same with copy and paste here as well. So copy and paste everything to here. And if you want to double check your API keys names that you're using, you can go to the get prediction, and you can go to where we call the API key for the Polygon is in here. Where do we have this? Polygon. So right here, make sure you're using the same name all throughout the application. So make sure this is the same name that we're using. This is the actual name that we've been using. I just called that by mistake in the example code here. I call this something different, but this should be the name for this API key, so we can be consistent throughout the different files and make sure everything gets deployed. Everything else should be fine. And then we're gonna go and hit deploy. Now when we hit deploy, we're gonna wait to see if everything gets deployed completely. We might get an error or two, and then if there is, we're gonna have to fix it and try to redeploy again and see if we are good to go. So this is gonna take a couple of minutes. Let's just wait and see what happens in here. All right, so if you didn't get any errors, you should be seeing this screen right over here which says congratulations, you have a new project, and now you should be able to go to the dashboard, add a domain name if you want to later, but we basically can go and right click or open this in another tab so we can see the deploy site in here, and we can navigate to the advisor, we can navigate to the stock prediction, we can type our app, test it out, and then hit get prediction. We're gonna wait for the response to come back. It's taking a little longer. Let's check if we have any errors. Okay, looks like we got an error there somewhere. That's okay, we can fix that in a second. Before we fix that, let's go back to the home page and let's copy this URL, and then we're gonna go back to the project setup and we're going to update the URI. So let's go back to the dashboard, click here. Now, once we're in the dashboard, we can go into the settings. Then we can go to environment variables here somewhere. We can scroll down. We can find the Reddit URL environment variable here. We can click on the three dots and click edit and remove the local host and paste the deploy side, because this is what we want to send to Reddit now, and hit save. And that is updated. Now, from the error that might be happening in our page, we can go to logs here and we can go and see what's going on with our application. If we click on the log, we're gonna say that there's an error here. OpenAI key environment variable is missing or empty, provided or the client API key option. I think I added a older API key that I probably deleted maybe. So maybe you didn't get that message, because I think I deleted some of my keys from the previous video. So let me go into settings, check on my environment variables here, go and check the OpenAI. I don't have the OpenAI here, so I guess it didn't add in my OpenAI key. So you can always add new ones by going up here, and then I'm going to add a new one here to see if it works. All right, so I just added my new OpenAI key. I think when I created the OpenAI key, I didn't hit save. So if you did the same mistake, you can just add it here and make sure you click save. So it's updated and ready to go. Now that we did some changes here, you can go into deployments and we can redeploy the application. If we click here, we can click on redeploy, and we can use the build cache because we didn't change anything on the code. We just changed our environment. So we're gonna select that so it can be faster and redeploy. So it's gonna go ahead and start building it again. It's gonna take a little bit of time, but less than before. And then we should be able to test the application again. So let me pause here. All right, so that was quicker than the previous one. We can now go back to the page. We can refresh it. We can go to advisor. We can go to stock prediction, get the Apple prediction here added, hit submit. And now it works. Yeah, that was my mistake. I probably didn't hit save. Let's go back to the advisor. Let's go to the sentiment analysis. And then here, let's test that the Reddit API is working by typing, let's do IBM here, and let's hit analyze. And there we go. Perfect. So now our application is deployed. We have the 2 services ready for our users to use it, or if you want to show this project as your part of your portfolio to apply it to any positions. Now we have a challenge for you. So go back to the advisor, and you notice we have multiple services here that we can work on. We have the personalized finance planning, which you can now try to build it yourself, right? Use the 2 services we use as an example to build your new one. So that way you can practice your new skills. And then we're going to go back and maybe create the same thing we did. You're going to create a new page for the personalized finance planning. You can keep this one simple. You can build, allow the user to insert maybe the stocks that they have, and then create a prompt that will create a personalized plans, or depending on the investment they want to plan on. So you can work on this one, or you can work on any other services that are listed here, or a brand new service that you want to implement. So use these 2 as your resources to go back and build it. And that way you can make this application yours and keep building some projects so you can keep practicing. So that's it for this application. I hope you like what we did together with the 2 services that we built together. If you have any questions, any ideas of any other projects or services that you might want to work on, put it in the comments so other people can see and get some ideas as well. And later on, we will probably work on something new, so that way we can move away from just stocks and AI. So I hope you enjoy this video series. Now take the challenge, keep coding, and keep creating new services. Have a good one, and I will see you in the next video.